I want you to hear this, okay? First of all, ownership takes full responsibility for where we are. To win 8 games in 2 years is horrible. It's totally unacceptable, okay? And it's not going to continue, okay? And I want the fans to know we are as frustrated.
Today after the game about Kevin and how much you learned from him and through to understanding each other. What's your reaction to the news that he's no longer your coach?
We just found out a couple seconds ago, but I think it's just overall the mentality, like things gonna happen. That's just how the league is, and moving forward, just focus on what we can improve, individually for the next head coach.
We're going to prioritize, whoever's the best coach for the Las Vegas Raiders is who we're going to hire, and we're not beginning with the end in mind. And we want a meticulous build that will set us up for years of success in the future. And we have a great opportunity to do that with everything that we have.
Imagine, thanks for asking that question, Greg. I know our fans are frustrated. I am more frustrated. I know Monty is more frustrated. This is something, and so is JG. Every one of those coaches and players. We all expected more. But I also, when I look at it, some of the changes that were made with other teams just a year or 2 years ago, those teams with new coaches from a year or two ago are now in the playoffs playing this weekend. I know we can turn it around, and I'm looking forward to getting going with this search because it's going to be a great.
Welcome, everybody, to the Sports Culture, all things sports. It's Jay Banfo, and we got to talk about NFL head coaches. But before we get into that, like, comment, share, subscribe, and thanks for your support. So the NFL regular season came to a close yesterday, so you know what happens on Monday. NFL head coaches get fired. So on Black Monday, 4 head coaches were let go by their organizations. The Arizona Cardinals fired Jonathan Gannon after 3 seasons. The Atlanta Falcons fired Raheem Morris after 2 seasons. The Las Vegas Raiders fired Pete Carroll after only 1 season. And lastly, the Cleveland Browns fired Kevin Stefanski after 6 seasons and winning Coach of the Year twice. In total, there are 6 job openings, and more may be coming as teams like the New York Jets and Miami Dolphins can still make a change at the head coaching position. Now, I wasn't really surprised at any of the firings. There were valid reasons as to why each coach was let go. In Arizona, Jonathan Gannon went 15-36 in 3 years, and it looks like a new quarterback will be starting for the Arizona Cardinals in place of Kyler Murray. So it's only fair to have a new coach and quarterback at the same time. For Raheem Morris, I actually place more blame on the general manager, who was fired as well, because the way he handled the quarterback situation was very stupid. You don't pay Kirk Cousins all that money and then go on to draft a quarterback in Michael Penix Jr., a player that just can't stay healthy. Yes, the Falcons finished the season strong, but once again, not making the playoffs and their quarterback situation made the head coach and GM expendable. With the Raiders, Pete Carroll was doomed from the start. Geno Smith had a horrible year after reviving his career in Seattle. Offense, defense, and special teams were all bad this year, and after going 3-14, a change was made to let go of the 74-year-old head coach in Pete Carroll. And last but not least, 2-time Coach of the Year Kevin Stefanski was let go, in my opinion, because of the quarterback situation. So if you followed the Browns all season, especially after Shedeur Sanders was drafted in the 5th round, you would know that Kevin Stefanski wanted nothing to do with Shedeur. The organization already drafted a quarterback in the 3rd round in Dylan Gabriel, so in no way did Stefanski want to deal with everything that comes along with Shedeur. That everything being Deion Sanders, the extra media attention that comes with him, and the media talking heads like Skip Bayless, for example, who will give all the credit to Shedeur while blaming everyone around him, from coaches and players, when things go bad. No coach wants to deal with that, especially from a player that was drafted in the 5th round, and at the end of the day, he just isn't a good quarterback. This is a fact. Statistically, Shedeur Sanders was the worst quarterback in the NFL. He threw 7 touchdowns while throwing 10 interceptions. The games that Shedeur won as a starter, the defense was the main reason why they won. We also got to remember, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett were traded by the GM without the approval of the head coach. All season, you can see the disconnect from the GM and the head coach. Now, the only reason why the GM wasn't fired as well was because in 2025, he had a really good draft class. But Coach Kevin Stefanski was a lame duck coach who I believe will get another head coaching job sooner than later. I'm sorry, you can't be a 2-time coach of the year in Cleveland, nevertheless, and be a bad football coach. That's just something that I'm not buying. And for all of the Shedeur Sanders fans, hear me out on this. If you think Kevin Stefanski wasn't a Shedeur supporter, what makes you think the next coach will be? I've never heard a bad thing about Kevin Stefanski as a coach until he was connected to Shedeur. Like, no lie, there were Shedeur Sanders fans that was calling him a racist because he didn't play him soon enough. No head coach wants to go through that. So I think the Browns' next head coach will either refuse to play him or just cut him from the team. Shedeur isn't talented enough to deal with everything that comes with him. Good luck to the Browns' next coach because he's going to need all the luck in the world. Now, with that being said, like, comment, share, subscribe, and I'll see y'all next time.